guys, Jackie here, finally back making soap after a long 6+ months of not being able to make soap because we moved from Illinois to Alabama. And today is the day after I started making soap again, and so today I'm cutting the logs of soap, and these are my small logs, 28 bars. This particular one is my bestseller. This is the lavender oatmeal, 100% natural essential oil in this log, and I'll show you how I do that. So I come over here to my log splitter, and there's a little base on it so I can line it up so that when my cutter wires go through the whole log, it cuts it pretty evenly. It is handmade, so it's not always perfect, and to me that just adds to the charm of the handmade bar of soap. And then I bring the short logs over to my bar splitter, and I'll get a little better picture of that. Light's not as good, but you'll at least be able to see what I do. And this is the bar splitter, 16 bars, and I just line it up. And then this is the hard part, pushing that ton of piano wire through the bars. And now it's not always that hard, it's just this particular mold is really tight, and the soap is obviously good sized bars. So that again is my lavender oatmeal. And then I'm going to swing them over to this little tray that I've got on a cart, and I'm going to roll that down then and put it on my curing racks, and I'll show you that also in a few minutes. Hey, so I've moved down now to the curing racks, and these are the mainly empty racks you see behind me. Again, empty because of the move. This is the first time I'm restocking. And so then the soap that's just been cut now gets placed onto these curing racks where they'll sit till I decide to wrap them. And that may be right when I get ready to sell them, or I may wrap up a couple dozen to have ready to go to whoever wants to buy them. These are my little name tags that I keep to just remind me what scent they are. Some of the soaps do kind of look the same, and so it keeps me from selling this almond. This is the almond, and in a couple weeks this sandalwood vanilla will be about the same color as the almond, so just helps me keep track of which soaps are which. And I also kind of separate them as this particular rack is the milk, actually the food scents and my floral scents, and then the next rack over I typically put my fruity and the earthy ones. And it's kind of how I have the soap set up in my displays that shows. It's how I separate my oils on the oils rack. Just makes it easier when you've got 100 bottles of fragrance that you can go to one particular area and find a scent pretty easily. So I'm going to finish putting out all of these bars. I already did the lavenders, but I'll put those on the curing racks, and then like I said, I'll probably start wrapping them at the end of next week, and by the time they get to the first people that are ordering them from the out of stocks on the website, it'll be at least a minimum of 2 weeks, which is appropriate for hot process soap. It'll be a harder bar of soap by then, as the water cures out. But anyway, I'm so happy to be making soap again. I can't tell you. If you have questions, you can call me, email me. All my contact information will be with the video and on my channel. Again, thanks for being here. Bye-bye. So there's one other thing that I wanted to, since I'm cutting soap, I can show you now when I talk about end pieces, what I mean by an end piece. These 4 bars of soap are at the top of the mold when I cut them, and I'll show you. I've got a few more here. This came off the lavender at the top of the mold, and you can see it's lumpy and bumpy, and there's lots of things I could do to smooth it out, but I've devised this oven rebatching method to make these everything but the kitchen sink soaps. So I take all of these, and I also make my little guest soaps out of these when I can, if they're thick enough, and like this one on the end would not be suitable because that's going to crack. But these will make great guest soaps. You can tell it's not perfect on the top, but by the time you cut, half of this away, it's going to be just fine. So in effect, all of these little scrap pieces from cutting the soap get thrown into this wonderful, I'll show you how big it is. It's one of those under bed Rubbermaid storage containers, and I throw all of those pieces, the end pieces that are too small, I will throw all of those in here. And then when this gets full, normal soap making time, it takes about a month for that to get full. I'll throw that into the smallest stainless steel pots I have, and that goes into the oven, where it will be between 200 and 250 degrees, and it gets soft enough that you can kind of stir it. It's like real thick mashed potatoes. It's heavy and thick, but it just is thin enough that you can get it back in a mold. And a day later, I have my everything but the kitchen sink soap, and you can tell that there's a lot of different scents in there because it literally is all of that, which is everything I make in a month, which is basically everything. So that is the tale of my everything but the kitchen sink soap. So when you order one of those, that's the one that it's not for people with sensitivities and allergies, because it literally has everything in it. I can't tell you what's in each particular bar. It's just everything. Anyway, thanks for listening.